Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine walking into your backyard and being greeted not by silence, but by the gentle, rhythmic soul of a mountain stream. Imagine the sun catching a crystal tets of water as it dances over ancient driftwood and soft, emerald moss, all tucked into a corner you once thought was useless. You aren't in a luxury resort, you are home. And the best part? You created this magic with your own two hands, using treasures nature left behind. Today, we aren't just building fountains. We are inviting peace back into your garden. Welcome back to Home and Garden Borneo, your sanctuary for all things rustic, upcycled, and magical. I am so glad you're here to join our growing family of creators. If you find your heart beating a little faster seeing these transformations, hit that subscribe button. We bring you a new collection of DIY inspiration every single week. Before we dive into today's journey, I'd love to know, where in the world are you watching from today? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. One, the Driftwood Spirit Waterfall. Imagine finding a piece of wood that the river has forgotten, a skeletal remains of a tree that has traveled miles through currents and storms. This is the Driftwood Spirit. See how its silvered, sun-bleached skin holds the secrets of the water it once lived in. When we introduce a gentle stream to flow through its hollows and ridges, it's as if the wood is breathing again, whispering stories of ancient forests to your modern garden. Touch the velvet softness of the moss that clings to its damp edges, a vibrant green contrast to the rugged, weathered texture of the timber. There is a deep, silent poetry in this union of the solid and the fluid. It reminds us that even things cast aside by the world can find a new, beautiful purpose. As the water spills over these natural curves, it creates a song of homecoming, a melody that settles the heart and connects our busy lives back to the slow, patient rhythm of the earth. It is a humble monument to resilience, proving that beauty isn't found in the perfect, but in the history written in every crack and grain. From the strength of ancient wood, let us now turn our eyes to the quiet grace of stones that seem to defy gravity. Two, the floating stone Cairn. Imagine the silent strength of stones that have been polished by time, now standing in a delicate, impossible balance. This is the floating stone Cairn, a monument to stillness and the hidden flow of life. Observe how each flat river stone, chosen for its unique character and weight, rests upon the other as if suspended by a secret thread. When the water begins its descent, it doesn't splash or roar. Instead, it clings to the surface, wrapping the cold stone in a warm, liquid embrace that looks like a veil of moving glass. There is a profound sense of equilibrium here, a reminder that in our own lives, balance is not something we find, but something we create through patience and intention. These stones, once scattered and anonymous in a riverbed, now stand together to create a sanctuary of sound. Listen to the soft, rhythmic patter as the droplets return to the earth, a sound that echoes the heartbeat of the nature around us. It is a visual prayer for stability and grace, proving that even the heaviest burdens can be made light when they are aligned with the natural flow of the world. As we find our center among these silent giants, let us move toward a warmer, more vibrant display of history and earth. Three, the Terracotta Cascade. Picture the sun-drenched earth of a Mediterranean courtyard, captured within the humble form of a clay pot. This is the Terracotta Cascade, where the warmth of the kiln meets the coolness of the stream. See how these vessels, each with its own story of chips and weathered edges, lean into one another like old friends sharing a secret. When the water begins to spill from one rim to the next, it creates a rhythmic, hollow music, a sound that resonates with the history of the earth itself. There is a beautiful vulnerability in clay. It is porous, honest, and changes color as it drinks the water it carries. It reminds us of our own connection to the soil and the way we are shaped by the elements that pass through our lives. As the water overflows, it carries a message of abundance, that even when we feel full to the brim, there is joy in letting our spirit pour out to nourish what lies below. The vibrant orange of the wet terracotta glows against the deep greens of the garden, a visual celebration of life's simple, humble cycles. As the last pot catches the falling stream, let us look toward a hidden oasis that captures the very light of the stars. Four, the Sunken Glass Oasis. Imagine a hidden jewel box buried within the earth, waiting for the sun to find it. This is the Sunken Glass Oasis, where the forgotten remnants of our tables, bottles of amber, emerald, and sapphire, become the guardians of a tranquil pool. See how the glass, once destined for the dark, now captures the stray beams of light, bending and splashing them back into the water in a dance of liquid fire and cool shadow. It is as if the stars themselves have come down to rest in your garden, cradled by the soil. There is a powerful lesson in the way glass transforms light. It takes what is common and makes it extraordinary. It reminds us that clarity often comes from being broken and reformed, and that our own reflections are most beautiful when we are surrounded by a spectrum of colors. As you watch the ripples move across these glowing boundaries, feel the noise of the world soften. This is a sanctuary of refraction, a place where the heavy and the transparent meet. It is a testament to the idea that even the most fragile things can hold a profound depth, inviting us to look beneath the surface and find the magic waiting in the quiet depths. As the light fades into the cool reflections of the glass, let us journey toward a place where the heart of a tree becomes the home of the water. Five, the ancient Tree Hollow Pond. Imagine a giant of the forest that has finally found its resting place, its heart opened wide to embrace the rain. This is the ancient Tree Hollow Pond, a sacred vessel where the strength of the earth meets the purity of the sky. See the deep, concentric circles of the trunk, each one a year of history, a season of growth, now cradling a pool of absolute stillness. The wood, dark and heavy with the wisdom of decades, provides a sanctuary for the water, protecting it from the wind and warming it with the sun's stored energy. There is a profound sense of return in this union. The tree, which once drank from the earth to reach the clouds, now becomes the earth's own cup. It teaches us that even in our ending, there is a beginning, that when we hollow out our own pride and ego, we create a space for life to flow back into us. As you sit beside this wooden cradle, listen to the low hum of the garden around it. The water doesn't just sit, it belongs. It is a dialogue between the living and the weathered, a reminder that the most beautiful things in our garden are those that have a story to tell and a heart large enough to hold the world. From the deep embrace of the ancient wood, we step out into the sunlight to discover how a simple wall of green can become a living, breathing river. Six, the vertical moss wall stream. Imagine a wall that breathes, a vertical tapestry woven from the very velvet of the forest floor. This is the vertical moss wall stream, where the boundary between architecture and nature dissolves into a soft, emerald mist. See how the moss, this ancient, resilient pioneer, clings to the stone, drinking in the life-giving water that trickles down like a slow, silver rain. It is a living lungs for your garden, a reminder that life doesn't always need vast fields. Sometimes, it just needs a steady flow and a place to hold on. There is a quiet humility in moss. It doesn't boast loud colors or tall stems, yet it holds more water and history than we can imagine. As the stream meanders through these green valleys and stone peaks, it mimics the journey of a mountain creek scaled down to the size of your palm. It teaches us the power of persistence, how the softest touch can, over time, nourish the hardest surface. Sit close and feel the cool air radiating from this living wall. It is a whisper of the wild, a piece of the primordial woods brought home to remind us that even in the smallest spaces, we can touch the infinite cycles of growth and grace. From this vertical sanctuary of green, let us move toward a symbol of simplicity and peace that has stood the test of centuries. Seven, the Bamboo Zen Spout. Imagine the sound of a single, rhythmic hollow thwack echoing through a silent morning, a sound that marks the passing of time without the rush of the world. This is the Bamboo Zen Spout, a bridge between the strength of the earth and the fluid grace of the heavens. See how the bamboo, hollow and light, lends its body to the water, becoming a humble servant to the stream. It reminds us that to be truly useful, we must first find the space within ourselves, that it is our emptiness, not our fullness, that allows us to carry the blessings of life to others. There is an elegant simplicity in the way the water arcs from the golden stalk into the weathered stone basin below. It is a dialogue between the temporary and the eternal, the bamboo that grows in a season and the stone that stays for an age. As the basin fills and overflows, it carries away the clutter of our thoughts, leaving only the pure, clear reflection of the present moment. Sit in the presence of this ancient rhythm. Feel the coolness it brings to the air and the stillness it brings to the mind. It is a gentle invitation to slow down, to breathe, and to remember that even the simplest elements, when aligned with heart, can create a sanctuary of infinite peace. From the disciplined beauty of bamboo, let us wander toward a playful transformation of an old garden companion. Eight, the rusty watering can fountain. Imagine an old gardener's companion that has spent decades quenching the thirst of roses, now finding its own eternal drink. This is the rusty watering can fountain, a tribute to the beauty of the worn and the wisdom of the weathered. See the rich, burnt orange patina of the metal, a skin earned through years of rain and sun. It no longer waits for a hand to tilt it. It has become a permanent fountain of life, an iron heart that beats with the steady rhythm of falling water. There is a whimsical nostalgia in this scene, a reminder that our tools, like our memories, carry a soul of their own. As the water pours in a dozen fine silken threads from the rosehead spout, it creates a delicate, shimmering curtain that plays with the light of the late afternoon. It teaches us that old does not mean finished, and that rust is simply nature's way of reclaiming what we have built. Sit beside this tireless vessel and listen to its chatter, a sound of constant giving and gentle overflow. It is a visual poem about the cycle of service, proving that even the most humble object can become a masterpiece of peace when it is allowed to dance once more with the elements. From the metallic charm of the farmhouse, let us walk softly toward a hidden path where the very earth under our feet begins to sing. Nine, the staircase Pebble Creek. Imagine that the very ground beneath your feet has found its voice, a soft liquid chatter that follows you as you climb. This is the staircase Pebble Creek, a living border that turns a simple transition into a sacred walk. See how the water meanders between the white and gray stones, choosing the path of least resistance, yet smoothing every rough edge it touches. It is a reminder that our journey isn't just about reaching the top, but about the beauty we find in the descent and the constant, humble flow of life along the way. There is a profound peace in the way the water wraps around each pebble, making the mundane stones shine like precious gems. It teaches us that clarity is found in movement, and that even a small, narrow channel can carry a great sense of direction. As you walk beside this miniature river, feel the temperature of the garden drop and the volume of your worries fade. The sound isn't a roar, but a rhythmic whisper, a heartbeat of the earth that synchronizes with your own. It is a visual and auditory anchor, proving that when we align our path with the natural elements, every step becomes a homecoming, and every level a new perspective on the grace of the world. From the moving stones of the hillside, let us look into a mirror that holds the secrets of the infinite. Ten, the mirrored infinity basin. Imagine a portal on the floor of your garden that doesn't lead into the earth, but pulls the entire sky down into your reach. This is the mirrored infinity basin, a quiet magician that turns a few inches of water into a bottomless well of light. See how the mirror, hidden beneath the still surface, disappears entirely, leaving only a perfect, crystalline twin of the world above. It is a reminder that even in the smallest, most confined spaces, we can find a sense of the infinite if we only change the way we look. There is a profound stillness in this basin. It doesn't shout or flow, but waits patiently to capture the passing of a cloud or the flight of a bird. It teaches us the power of reflection, that when we are still and clear, we can hold the beauty of the entire universe within ourselves. As you gaze into this liquid mirror, the boundaries of your garden seem to melt away, replaced by a deep, blue silence that calms the spirit. It is a visual meditation on depth and truth, proving that the most expansive views aren't always found on the horizon, but can be cradled in a simple stone bowl at your feet. As we emerge from the depths of the infinite, let us discover a secret hidden within the cracked heart of an ancient clay pitcher. "11. The Cracked Pitcher Secret." Imagine an object that the world has deemed broken, a vessel that can no longer hold what it was meant to carry. This is the cracked pitcher secret, a beautiful reminder that our flaws are often the places where our light, and our life, shines through most brightly. See how the water doesn't wait for the mouth of the jug. Instead, it pours generously from the fracture, creating a spontaneous and joyful stream that nourishes the stones below. It is a story of resilience, showing us that being cracked isn't the end, but a new way of giving. There is a profound honesty in this display. It doesn't try to hide its scars, but celebrates them as the source of its music. As the water flows, it cleanses the weathered clay, turning the dull earth tones into a rich, deep mahogany that glows under the sun. It teaches us that we don't have to be perfect to be purposeful. Sit quietly beside this humble fountain and listen to the song of the leek. It is a melody of freedom, a sound that says we are allowed to let go, to overflow, and to find beauty in our own unique brokenness. It is a visual prayer for self-acceptance, proving that when we embrace our history, we become a source of unexpected peace for everyone around us. From the honest scars of the clay, let us shrink our perspective down to a world of miniatures and magic. "12. The Fairy Grotto Pond." Imagine for a moment that you have the power to shrink, to step away from the heavy demands of the adult world and enter a realm where a single leaf is a roof and a pebble is a mountain. This is the Fairy Grotto Pond, a sanctuary of smallness that holds a vast amount of wonder. See how the water, contained within a simple basin, becomes a vast, crystal lake for the unseen dwellers of your garden. It is a reminder that magic doesn't require grand stages. It lives in the quiet corners, in the patience of moss, and in the delicate balance of a miniature bridge. There is a playful innocence in creating a world like this, a way of honoring the child within us who still believes that every garden has its secrets. As you tend to this tiny oasis, your focus narrows, and the loud worries of life begin to dissolve into the intricate details of the grotto. It teaches us that peace is often found when we pay attention to the small things. Sit softly and let your imagination roam. Feel the cool mist of this tiny lake and the gentle shelter of the overhanging ferns. It is a visual lullaby, a place where time slows down to the pace of a growing sprout, proving that even in the smallest of spaces, we can build a kingdom of absolute tranquility. From the whimsical secrets of the grotto, let us climb toward a structure of strength and rhythmic elegance. The stacked slate tower. Imagine a mountain that has been compressed into a single, elegant pillar, standing as a sentinel in the heart of your garden. This is the stacked slate tower, where the raw, ancient energy of the earth is organized into a symphony of horizontal lines. See how each sliver of slate, thin and dark, rests upon its neighbor with a quiet, heavy trust. When the water begins its descent, it doesn't fall in a single leap. It meanders and weeps through 1,000 tiny crevices, turning the dry charcoal stone into a shimmering, obsidian mirror that reflects the world around it. There is a profound sense of resilience in this structure, a reminder that we are built layer by layer through seasons of pressure and time. It teaches us that even the thinnest fragments, when stacked with purpose, can reach toward the sky and hold a steady flow of grace. Listen to the intricate, percussive sound of the water hitting each ledge, a liquid heartbeat that fills the air with a cooling mist. It is a visual and auditory meditation on the strength found in unity and the beauty found in the rugged edge. Sit in its shadow and feel the ancient stability it radiates. It is a piece of the earth's backbone brought home, proving that even the simplest stone can become a monument of peace when it is allowed to dance with the rain. From the sharp, geometric beauty of slate, let us transition toward a surprising transformation of a modern relic into a blooming oasis. The old Tyre Lotus Pond. Imagine an object that once traveled thousands of miles on the hard, unforgiving asphalt, now finding its final destination in the soft, quiet embrace of your garden. This is the old Tyre Lotus Pond, a hidden miracle of transformation. See how the heavy, black rubber, a symbol of our fast-paced modern world, has been cloaked in a skin of textured stone and moss, disappearing entirely to become a sanctuary for life. It is a reminder that no matter how worn out or tired something may seem, it can always be reborn as a vessel of peace. There is a profound beauty in the way the broad, umbrella-like leaves of the lotus rise from the dark water, reaching for the light with a quiet, persistent grace. The Tyre, once a source of noise and speed, now holds a stillness so deep that it reflects the passing of the clouds without a single ripple. It teaches us that true strength is found in our ability to hold space for beauty to grow. Sit beside this circular oasis and watch the light play upon the surface of the water. Feel the heat of the day soften as it meets the cool, damp stones. It is a visual and emotional homecoming, proving that even the most industrial relic can become a poetic heart for your garden when it is given a new, soulful purpose. From the recycled strength of the basin, let us look toward a design inspired by the very leaves that float upon its surface. 15. The concrete leaf basin. Imagine a moment frozen in stone, where a giant leaf from the deep jungle has been turned into an eternal vessel for the rain. This is the concrete leaf basin, a beautiful marriage between the industrial and the organic. See how the heavy, humble cement has captured every delicate vein and whispered texture of the living plant, preserving a fleeting moment of nature's design into a permanent monument of peace. It reminds us that art is simply the act of paying attention, of taking what is growing around us and giving it a voice that lasts beyond the seasons. There is a gentle, rhythmic grace in the way the water follows the hand-cast channels of the leaf, pooling in its center before spilling over the tip in a perfect, crystalline bead. It teaches us the beauty of letting go. The leaf doesn't try to hold the water forever, but simply cradles it for a moment before passing it on to the earth below. As the wet concrete deepens in color, it takes on the appearance of ancient stone, a weathered relic that feels like it has always belonged among the ferns. Sit quietly and watch this liquid dance. Feel the coolness of the stone and the softness of the flow. It is a visual poem about capturing the essence of life, proving that when we follow nature's own patterns, even the simplest materials can sing with a spirit of timeless tranquility. From the sculpted leaves of the garden floor, let us look upward to a melody that descends from the very clouds themselves. (16) The Rain Chain Sanctuary. Imagine a ladder made of water and light, reaching down from the eaves of your home to touch the quiet earth. This is the Rain Chain Sanctuary, a beautiful translation of a storm into a song. See how each link, weathered and grounded, waits to catch the flow, guiding it downward in a graceful, spiraling dance. It reminds us that even the most overwhelming downpour can be transformed into a focused, rhythmic piece if we only provide a path for it to follow. There is a deep, ancient wisdom in the sound of the rain chain, a percussive melody that tells the story of the sky's generosity. As the water finds its home in the stone tempion below, it creates a sanctuary of sound that washes away the static of our daily lives. It teaches us about connection, the way the roof, the chain, and the basin are all part of a single, fluid breath. Sit in the shelter of your garden and watch this vertical river. Feel the air grow heavy with the scent of wet stone and green life. It is a visual prayer for alignment, proving that when we bridge the gap between our high dreams and our humble roots, we create a music that is as clear as the rain itself. From the vertical descent of the sky, let us cross a tiny bridge over a stream that whispers through the driftwood. (17) The Driftwood Bridge Stream. Imagine a path that leads nowhere but exactly where you need to be. This is the Driftwood Bridge Stream, a quiet crossing built from the silvered remains of trees that once knew the river's secrets. See how the wood, arched and weathered by 1,000 suns, provides a gentle passage over a tiny, babbling creek. It is a reminder that every journey, no matter how small, deserves a moment of grace, a place to pause and watch the water flow beneath our feet before we move on to what lies ahead. There is a deep sense of story in this bridge. Each crack and curve in the wood is a memory of the current that shaped it. As the water meanders over the smooth pebbles below, it whispers of the long road it has traveled to find this quiet corner of your garden. It teaches us about the beauty of transition, the way we move from one state to another, supported by the strength of what has come before. Sit beside this miniature crossing and feel the calm it radiates. It is a visual metaphor for the bridges we build in our own lives, proving that even the most weathered materials can create a path of absolute peace when they are laid with intention. From the quiet crossing of the wood, let us drift toward a lush, floating world that defies the boundaries of the soil. (18) The Floating Succulent Island. Imagine a world where the earth and water have forgotten their boundaries, where the desert meets the lake in a silent, floating embrace. This is the Floating Succulent Island, a living jewel that drifts upon the still surface of your garden pond. See how these resilient rosettes, with their fleshy leaves and sunset hues, find a home on a bed of moss and cork, thriving in a place where they should not belong. It is a reminder that life is infinitely adaptable, that when we find our own island of peace, we can bloom in the most unexpected places. There is a profound magic in this drifting garden. It follows the path of the breeze, never staying in one place, yet always centered in its own tranquility. It teaches us the grace of letting go, of allowing the currents of life to move us without losing our own vibrant color. As the water beneath it remains calm, the island becomes a mirror for the sky, carrying its miniature forest through reflections of clouds and light. Sit quietly and watch this slow, silent journey. Feel the coolness of the pond and the warm strength of the succulents. It is a visual meditation on finding balance between the solid and the fluid, proving that even the most delicate beauty can find stability when it learns to flow with the world around it. From this floating paradise of color, let us trace a path of stones that winds like a secret river through the heart of the garden. (19) The Spiral Rock River. Imagine a river that has decided to curl up and rest, a path of water that follows the sacred geometry of a seashell or a distant galaxy. This is the Spiral Rock River, where the chaotic energy of the stream is tamed into a rhythmic, circling piece. See how the black and white stones, handpicked and carefully laid, create a mosaic of contrast that guides the water and your eyes inward toward a central point of stillness. It is a reminder that even when life feels like a constant flow, we can always find a way to return to our own center. There is a profound, meditative quality in this spiral. It doesn't rush toward a destination, but enjoys the beauty of the journey as it winds around itself. It teaches us the power of focus, how the most scattered thoughts can find clarity when they follow a deliberate path. As the water ripples over the smooth, wet pebbles, it creates a visual and auditory heartbeat for your garden, a low-frequency hum that settles the spirit. Sit at the edge of this stone vortex and feel your breath slow down to match the pace of the water. It is a visual prayer for wholeness, proving that when we align ourselves with the natural shapes of the universe, even the most humble collection of stones can become a gateway to infinite tranquility. From the mathematical grace of the stones, let us move toward a nostalgic charm that celebrates the abundance of a simple garden spill. "20. The Rustic Bucket Fountain. Imagine the generous spirit of an old farmhouse, where everything has a purpose and nothing is ever truly wasted. This is the Rustic Bucket Fountain, a celebration of abundance and the simple joy of overflow. See how these weathered zinc buckets, once used to gather the harvest or carry water from the well, now stand in a humble, tiered formation. They don't just hold the water, they pass it on, creating a rhythmic cascade that sings of the tireless cycles of the countryside. It reminds us that our greatest value often lies in what we choose to let go, allowing our own fullness to nourish the levels below us. There is a nostalgic honesty in the sound of water hitting metal, a bright, percussive melody that brings a sense of life and energy to the quietest corner of your garden. As the water spills over the worn, silvered rims, it catches the light in 1,000 dancing sparks, turning a common utility into a brilliant display of motion. It teaches us the beauty of persistence. The buckets never empty because the flow is constant. Sit beside this tiered sanctuary and feel the cool mist on your skin. Let the sound of the splash wash away the dust of the day. It is a visual poem about the wealth found in simple things, proving that when we stack our humble efforts with intention, we create a fountain of grace that never runs dry. From the metallic song of the farmstead, let us move toward a secret glow hidden deep within the heart of the rocks. "21. The Hidden Grotto Lighting. Imagine a secret that only reveals itself when the sun begins to fade. A warm, amber heartbeat hidden deep within the cold embrace of the stones. This is the hidden grotto lighting, a sanctuary where fire and water find a quiet, glowing peace. See how the light doesn't shine directly upon you. Instead, it whispers from the shadows, tucked safely behind the rugged ledges of the rock. It reminds us that often, the most beautiful parts of ourselves are those we keep a little protected. The inner light that glows most brightly when the world around us grows dark. There is a profound, cozy magic in this union. The water, usually cool and transparent, becomes a liquid gold as it catches the hidden warmth. It teaches us the power of perspective, how a small change in light can transform a simple pile of stones into a place of absolute enchantment. As the shadows lengthen, this grotto becomes an anchor for the spirit, a visual campfire that calls us home to ourselves. Sit in the soft radiance of this stone sanctuary and listen to the rhythmic splash. Feel the day's tension dissolve into the golden ripples. It is a visual prayer for the quiet hours, proving that even in the deepest shadows, there is a warmth waiting to be discovered if we only look behind the surface. From the glowing heart of the grotto, let us move toward a vision of absolute stillness and focused meditation. "22. The the Sandstone Meditation Bowl. Imagine a point where time stops ticking, where all the noise of the world is drowned out by the sound of a single, gently falling droplet. This is the Sandstone Meditation Bowl, a sacred vessel made from the essence of the earth to hold the serenity of the sky. See how this pale, porous sandstone patiently drinks the water, gradually becoming a darker, richer color, as if it were breathing. It reminds us that true strength is not always found in a rushing stream, but in the ability to remain still and receive whatever comes. There is a profound honesty in its simplicity, a perfect circle that doesn't demand attention, yet draws the soul closer. It teaches us about the meaning of fullness, that when we are still enough, even a tiny drop can create waves of beauty that spread throughout our lives. Sit before this stone bowl and let your gaze linger on the concentric ripples it forms. Feel your breath begin to harmonize with the slow rhythm of the drops. It is a visual prayer for clarity of mind, proving that even in the midst of the most overgrown garden, a simple stone bowl can become the center of a universe filled with eternal peace. From the silence of this stone cup, let us step into a beautiful functionality, where water gives life to a life whose aroma we can smell. '23. The Vertical Herb Waterfall. Imagine a garden that breathes with the scent of crushed mint and sweet basil, where the life-giving water doesn't just pass by, but nourishes the very flavors of your home. This is the Vertical Herb Waterfall, a living tapestry where functionality meets the soulful rhythm of the stream. See how the water meanders through the wooden troughs, pausing to soak the roots of the rosemary and thyme before spilling over in a crystal veil to the next level. It is a reminder that we are at our most beautiful when we are useful, when our own abundance becomes the source of growth for everything we touch. There is a multisensory magic here. The cool sound of the splash is carried on a breeze filled with the fragrance of the earth's bounty. It teaches us about the beauty of integration, that we don't have to choose between the practical and the poetic. As the herbs grow lush and vibrant from the constant, gentle flow, they become a symbol of how a little attention and a steady heart can turn a simple wall into a feast for the senses. Sit beside this aromatic fountain and let the scent and sound wash over you. Feel the connection between the water that falls and the life that sustains us. It is a visual and fragrant prayer for wholeness, proving that when we invite nature into our daily needs, every meal becomes a ceremony of gratitude and peace. From the fragrant harvest of the wall, let us move toward a powerful union of the two most primal elements, fire and water. '24. The Riverbed Fire and Water. Imagine a place where the sun and the moon sit down together at the same table. This is the riverbed fire and water, a primal sanctuary where the two great forces of nature find a balance that is both breathtaking and deeply grounding. See how the fierce, flickering warmth of the hearth is cradled by the cool, circling embrace of the stream. It is a reminder that within each of us, there is a fire that drives us and a water that calms us, and that true peace is found not in choosing one, but in allowing them to dance together in harmony. There is a profound, ancient magnetism in this union. The crackle of the wood speaks to our ancestors, while the babble of the water whispers to our future. It teaches us about the beauty of opposites, how the light is made brighter by the dark water, and how the water feels cooler against the warmth of the flame. As the smoke rises slowly into the evening air, carrying with it the tensions of the day, the moving moat below filters our thoughts into a steady, rhythmic peace. Sit between these two worlds and feel the pulse of the earth. It is a visual and sensory prayer for wholeness, proving that when we welcome both our heat and our stillness, we create a sanctuary that is as eternal as the elements themselves. From the primal dance of fire and water, let us turn to our final journey, a celebration of memories and a unique melody made from the fragments of our celebrations. The Wine Bottle Waterfall. Imagine the remnants of a beautiful evening, the glass vessels that once held laughter and shared stories, now finding a new, eternal song. This is the Wine Bottle Waterfall, a celebration of history transformed into a liquid melody. See how the emerald and amber glass, once destined for the dark of a bin, now stands proudly in the light, catching every stray beam of sun and turning it into a shimmering prism. It reminds us that our most cherished moments don't have to fade. They can be reborn, pouring out their joy in a constant, refreshing stream. There is a playful elegance in the sound of this waterfall, a bright, crystalline chatter that feels both sophisticated and deeply rustic. It teaches us that beauty is often a matter of perspective. What was once empty can be filled again with a new kind of spirit. As the water arcs gracefully from the glass necks, it creates a symphony of drips and splashes that mask the noise of the outside world, leaving only the peace of your own creation. Sit in the presence of these glowing bottles and feel the gratitude for the life that has passed through them. It is a visual and auditory toast to resilience, proving that when we reclaim our fragments with love, we create a fountain of beauty that honors both our past and the vibrant, flowing present. As the last drop of water finds its way home, remember that a garden is never truly finished. It is a living, breathing story that you write every day. Which of these 25 spirits will you invite into your space this weekend? Whether it's a simple stone basin or a grand driftwood cascade, the peace it brings is yours to keep. Thank you for spending this time with me at Home and Garden Borneo. Until next week, keep creating, keep growing, and keep dreaming. I'll see you in the next video.